Hey guys, so I have a visitor in the back. She's playing with some stuff. I don't know. Um, so anyways, um, some of y'all have been watching the Beastly Unsaved Rabbit Hole, and um, I just want to address something really quick. I know that some of you have probably left my channel because in those videos I cuss a fair amount compared to these. I try really hard not to cuss in these because I do know there are some people that watch these videos of mine with their kids and things like that. So these, if it accidentally slips out, it'll happen on occasion, and I apologize for that. But I made a disclaimer in the first one of the specific HAED group challenge that I'm doing. Those are going to have a lot of cussing in them. It's just going to happen, and I made a disclaimer in those. So if you still love watching me, thank you for sticking around. But if you like watching me but don't want to hear me cuss, just stay away from the Beastly Unsaved Rabbit Hole videos. Anyways, disclaimer done. This is about Stitch Mania, and I previously said that I'm going to do Mania very different this year. And I've actually revised my calendar so many times for Mania. It is insane. I'm just going to show you. Let me flip this up. But look at all of these scratch outs. Like, there's just scratch outs everywhere. But I do have a finalized one. I printed out a new copy. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Originally, what my idea for Mania is last year I did 15 new starts in the 30-day month. I took a day off for rest because, yeah. That's really insane. Those of you that do like 31 new starts, I just couldn't even. So this year, I think really the theme, if you haven't noticed, is that my whip number has been giving me whiplash. Like, I'm just like, I'm adding another one. So I love it. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I think new starts are fantastic. But there are some things that I am genuinely kind of like, I'd kind of rather work on this and get this finished instead of starting this other one. So I'm very much at a place where whenever I first originally back in November, December started working on this year's calendar, and I was like, ooh, new start every 17th. Ooh, this new start. Ooh, this new start. I wasn't really thinking. I was just excited of all of the new starts. And whenever it came down to actually starting the starts, it just seemed more overwhelming and daunting. So I do still have new starts coming, so that's good, and that's gonna be happening. But this year's Mania is going to be a little different, and I've already reworked it so many times. So my original plans were to do 8 whips and 7 new starts and split up my 15, because I still would only like to do the 15 and give myself 2 days for everything. So I split it up to do 7 new starts and 8 whips, and that's what I had decided. I look like a drowned rat, by the way. Like, I just took a shower. I've been so lazy this weekend. Like, I did laundry before I got too tired. Basically. Isn't it? I think I've had this in videos before. All right. So let's just get into it. So I've changed it up, and I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4 new starts. 4 new starts. And then the rest are either SALs or whips or the new HAED project, which my HAED videos are going to be mostly about that, but I obviously, since it is in my plans, I'm going to be talking about it, but I'm going to be extensively talking about it in the HAED videos. So And I think I said that in the first HAED video. So if you aren't watching those and you're curious to find out more once I talk about it in this one, go to those. But be fair warned, there's the F word several times. Okay, so enough warning. So my first new start of Stitch Mania is the 1st and 2nd, and that's going to be Trick or Treat. If I can find it. So it's going to be Trick or Treat by the Frosted Pumpkin. I have it kitted up here, and I have my Da Vinci fabric. Sorry. This is the 14 count, the Crystal Ada 13 by 16 piece. I did not get mine in a kit. I waited and I ordered it with the massive Christmas in July, and I actually didn't get my order until, when did I get it? Like early November, I think, mid-November. I don't know. I did a haul video on it because it was long. But this is the piece that I got, just to remind you, if you're new here or haven't seen that video of all the fabrics that I got in July. But this is it. So I have a tiny bit of orange down here. I think because this top piece is mostly the, oh my gosh, it's mostly the purples. I might do the longer piece. I don't know. I might do the longer piece down here just to utilize this beautiful orange splash that I have, because there is a little bit that would be on a little bit of all the pattern, and then use the more blank, these 2 blank quadrants. So I'm going to do the small pattern on one of them, and then there was a small Halloween along the same thing of the costumes in a magazine that I have a copy of. So I'm going to do that on the other small piece, so that way I'll really utilize this entire piece and do the entire Halloween collection that came out last year from Frosted Pumpkin that was costume related. So that's going to be started the 1st and the 2nd. The 3rd and the 4th, I'm going to start Merry and Bright, and I have it kitted up right here. I also got the recommended fabric for this. This is Crystal Quartz 14 count 13 by 18, and this is what it looks like. I'm not going to open it up all the way because it doesn't have any like magic trick spots like Da Vinci does, but it's just a really pretty like pink rose quartz color. Love it. So again, it has the longer piece that I'm going to do on the top portion, and then it has the mini pattern. But I'm also on the other quadrant, there was, and it doesn't go along with the theme, not really, but there's that Not a Creature Was Stirring, Not Even a Mouse one that was in a magazine this last Christmas that kind of goes along with the theme. I think I'm going to do it on the other quadrant. So again, fully utilizing this 1/8 fat. The 5th and the 6th, I'm going to be working on Happily Ever After. I'll just remind you of where I got with that. I got a pretty good ways. I got all of my squares caught up, but I didn't get the center caught up, but that's okay. So we already know that May is going to be Robin Hood. If you didn't know that, sorry if that was a spoiler, but they put a hint in the email with April's pattern, and it said about going into the forest with a good archer who was known for robbing the rich to feed the poor. So, duh. I'm sorry, but duh. It's got to be Robin Hood. So if that was a spoiler for you, I'm really sorry, but it was in the email. But, so I'm highly predicting that this one's going to be Robin Hood. So I'm expecting, you know, like maybe like some little tree, like a tree or something, and like him arching, like doing archery. So anyway, so yeah, this is where I'm at. I need to work on the center motif for sure. Probably won't be in May, but I'm hoping to at least get the May block done. So 2 days for that. The 7th and 8th is going to be a whip day, and I'm going to work on Merry and Bright. And then the 9th and 10th is another whip day, and I'm going to be working on my Stitch in Time, my sewing machine. And I kind of showed the pattern last time. I'll hold it away at a distance again, but this is the pattern. Looks like a sewing machine, and it's an Emma Congdon. It is not on her Etsy site yet. It was from the Cross Stitcher magazine. I honestly cannot remember when. I feel like it was in 2016 though. Yeah. No, ooh, it could have been 2015. I honestly cannot remember which magazine it was in. But I'm doing it on Picture This Plus Baroque 14 count Ada. I'm probably not saying it right, but it's like Barquoore. I kind of want to call it like brooch, but no, I don't think, no, it's not. So anyways, that's how far I am. So I'm going to be working on this for 2 days. I'm pretty excited. I really, really, really like this pattern. It's really nice and really fun to stitch on. And I really love my fabric for it. I think it's going to be really pretty. I chose to turn the fabric this way because there's a really big open space right here. Like the opening of the sewing machine, like where you would put like your fabric under, is like right here where this giant green splash is. So I think that's going to be really pretty. Really like the fabric for this. The 11th and 12th is another whip, and that's going to be Trick or Treat again. So I'm going to get 4 days on this, 4 days on Merry and Bright, and 2 days on the sewing machine. The next one is going to be the Frosted Pumpkin Woodland Sampler. I really should have made this Frosted Pumpkin Stitch Mania, but I wanted to start this. I have it completely kitted because I have started it before. I started on 11 count, and I got part of January and part of February's block done, but it was just way too big, way too big. So I wanted to do it, and that was also before I knew all about like dyed fabrics. I mean, like I had like tea dyed and stuff, but it was way before I knew all about the world of like Pictures Plus and all that. So I did, in my Christmas in July sale last year, I ordered Fathom, and this is 16 count 13 by 18. It is a really, really pretty blue color that I thought would look really nice with all of the thread colors for the Woodland Sampler. So I'm pretty excited to start that. Pretty excited. So I'm going to be working on Woodland Creatures the 13th through 14th as a new start, and the 15th and 16th as a whip. So 4 days on this. That'll be really nice. Then I have 3 days for quotes to live by. And I'm really excited to see what the 5th quote is going to be. But I will show you where I'm at with this. Ugh. So I still need to do a lot of work on the top motif. I got part of the side border done. I have number 1 done. I have number 2 done. I have the 4th one done. So there's that one. It's very, very, very pretty. I absolutely love this. And I have started on number 3. This is March's. in order to be irreplaceable, one must be unique or something like that. One must be different. It'd be better if it said unique, but can't knock Coco Chanel. But so working on that, coming along quite nicely. I stopped doing the side border because honestly, I lost count because this is the side that has the blip mess up with the colors, the two every other blues. There's one page that shows one of the blues having 3 in a row, and so I wasn't quite sure how it was going to line up down here. One complaint that I will say about this pattern, so Emma, if you're watching, but one complaint that I do have about this pattern, and I guess I can show it because honestly, like the pattern doesn't really, part of it doesn't really show anything. But so I love how her patterns always tell you like the placement of the page that you're looking at. I do love that. I've always loved that about her patterns. But one thing, I guess because a lot of her patterns, you know, like you're getting the full pattern so you can see like where they connect. So knowing the numbers aren't necessarily like a big deal. But in this, because it's so big and because the initial pattern with the outer border is blank space all the way around it, the only place where there are grid numbers is on the first row of going across. And then these first 3 pages tell you the top grid. And then only these 3 pages tell you the vertical grid. And I think that that's really, that was really a problem for me. And that's kind of because there was a color blip in these every other blues on the other side of it. That's kind of why I stopped. And I wanted to do part 3 so that way I could come down from the bottom and then connect it. Because I'm so afraid of like miscounting because of that blip, which that happens. I mean, things happen, patterns get blips. I don't care about that, but I do think it is kind of, that's like my one complaint about this pattern is that you don't get the grids on the other side or even in the middle pages. So like this is the first one down. But see, there's no grid numbers for the sides for like a middle piece. And then whenever you get to the other side, there's no grids. Like I wrote the 90 right there going off the first one, but somehow like it got confusing. But yeah, so it only tells you on the one side. The other side, it just flat out just does not give you numbers. And it's, so that would be my one complaint about this pattern. Just keeping it real. Also, I showed this in my last video, but a lot of people asked me my color changes, so I did write them down for you. So these are my color changes. I don't know if any other colors are going to be put in the pattern. I know that colors, so this is the original color chart from the first release with just the border and stuff. So it only included the colors that were included in the first release. And then in the second release, more colors were added. So I don't know if any of the other months are going to have any more colors added, but this is all of the colors so far. I think I only kept 4 of them as the original color, and then I made a lot of edits myself. So people have been asking me, so I decided to write that down for y'all if you wanted to know the DMCs that I was using for my colors, because somebody said I've gotten a lot of compliments on the blues that I changed, and I actually changed all the pinks too, I believe. I made a lot of color changes actually. I left one of the grays, I left the cream, I changed the yellows, I changed all but one of the blues, I think. And I think I changed all but one of the pinks, maybe. I don't know. I changed almost every color. So that's that. The next one is a Doctor Who, and it's called Doctor Who Words because basically what I did, let me see if I can Google it really quick for you. What I did was I found, I was Googling for Doctor Who patterns, and I have several. And let's see. I know I can find it. Here it is. So I was looking for TARDIS themed cross stitches, but that were like relatively like simple but really impactful. And so I was looking for patterns and I couldn't really find one, and so I found this picture. It looked semi-gridded. So whenever I blew up the picture, it looked kind of gridded. So I made it a pattern myself. I gridded it myself, and I would show it to you, but it's like really hard to read. You can kind of see it, but I'm gonna do it all in two colors, I think, possibly, yeah, two colors, but the words. So there is some solid. You can see it. There's some solid colors. It does say police box in that big white spot at the top. But basically it says he's like fire and ice and rage. He's like the night and the storm in the heart of the sun. He's ancient and forever. He burns at the center of time and can see the turn of the universe. And he's wonderful. So I really just wanted like something really powerful for Doctor Who. And so I just dyed my fabric today, and I'm just going to pick just like a really nice color that goes with the fabric that I made. I made it kind of like spacey looking, so I might pick like a lighter TARDIS kind of looking blue, and then like white for where it says police box across the top. So that is that. And that's going to be the 20th through the 21st for a new start, and the 22nd and 23rd for a whip. The 24th is starting my HAED. I still need to grid it, but this is a massive piece of fabric, you guys. Like, it is huge, but it smells really good because I had put dryer sheets in with it whenever I washed it. But this is for my HAED. If you didn't watch the video, this is all of my threads. This is 66.5 skeins that I had in my collection for it, and then I still needed 72. 30 of these are black, which baffles me. And this is, seriously, this is insane. It's 52 pages, but this is her. She's so beautiful. I absolutely love her. It's called Nothing Will Save Me. The artwork is by Melanie DeLeon. My bad. She's absolutely a gorgeous. So I need to grid this soon. So that way it's ready to go whenever I am. So those are my Stitch Mania plans. There's a lot. I mean, it's not a lot compared to what some are doing, but it is a lot. So I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it. I hope y'all are. What are some of y'all's plans? Are y'all going crazy? Are y'all doing like all new starts? Are y'all doing something kind of like what I'm doing where you're doing like whips? I know, I can't remember who it is, but somebody, and I don't know if it's this year, but like last year, instead of doing all new starts, they did all whips, which I think is brilliant. And so that's why I think last year was my first year knowing about Mania. And so I got a little like swept up. And so that's why I did all new starts. But then I heard that somebody did all whips, and I was like, I could do a combo of that. So that's what's happening. That's why I'm doing kind of like a 50-50 split. And trying to incorporate some new stuff to, you know, keep me stimulated, but then also to bring out my whips and get some things worked on. So trying to keep that going on. All right. So anyways, I hope that y'all really liked this video. Please let me know in the comments down below what y'all are going to be working on for Stitch Mania. I love knowing what y'all are going to be working on, especially if it's going to be kind of like split up like me. And from my hostess in the back, Gizmo, we will see y'all next time.